taking a couple of shots here with both the pistol and the rifle. And so what we're going to do is a little maintenance here. We're going to swab this barrel. It gets kind of full of residue. Now we're shooting Pyrodex, which isn't quite as dirty as regular black powder. This also will take care of any hot embers or hot unburnt powder particles down there. So it's always a good idea to do this between shots. The last video you can see how black it comes out. I don't know if that'll focus or not on here, but it comes out pretty black. The last video we did, we had some people comment about, you know, you should always not pour powder down there until you're sure that there's nothing in the barrel. We had actually done that on the last video, we just didn't show it. So I just wanted to make sure on this video that people know that yes, we do swab it, make sure there's no hot embers down there. But you know, basically, you know, the sequence that we go through when we load these, we'll swab it out. When you first come out to shoot, when we had a little problem with that today, when you first come out to shoot, you know, you want to take a, you could either clean it, take this side screw off right here to get into the nipple area, and you could take this screw out and put a pipe cleaner down in there or something, or you can just put a pipe cleaner, take this out, run a pipe cleaner in there, clean it out, or you can just put a cap on here and then just fire the cap to blow through anything that's in there. Because sometimes when you clean the barrel out, as you're cleaning the barrel and you sit it in the gun case, you know, that that cleaning valve stall or whatever you're using will kind of work its way down and maybe puddle up down here and block the pathway of the ability for that spark to get through there. So, and there is a couple of caps down inside of this hammer. There's a couple of caps that are expanded out, and you know, you could dig those out with your pocket knife. These guns, you know, they take some maintenance, and even between shots. And now I use my knife to dig that old cap out. That cap had gotten expanded all down in here and kind of filled it up. So you're between shots, there are some things you need to do. You could do 2 or 3 shots in a row, I guess, but you run the risk of having hot embers down here, having things, old caps caught up in here. You know, it's an old technology, but works pretty good. You know, I'm just using a basic powder measure. I can use this screw set. This one will set up to 150 grains. So this one's pretty practical, and I'll put about 60 grains or so in here. I'll just set that to 60 grains, tighten it down. Now, I also had a lot of people commenting about using this old ketchup bottle and having static electricity. Now, I did go and research online and some other places about this, and it seems that this is an issue that comes up from time to time, but you know, most of the stuff I read kind of seemed to say that this really wasn't that big of a deal. All of the powder containers, this is the Pyrodex powder container, and this is also made of plastic. This is plastic, this is plastic. You know, I realize you probably argue maybe they're different types of plastic, but You know, it kind of goes to the idea that if the powder companies were real concerned about plastic, these would all still be metal containers, and they are not. Even the GoX real black powder is not anymore. So what I do is, you know, I just use this. I've never had a problem with it. You know, everything I've read, everything I've seen, it doesn't seem to be an issue. And yeah, I suppose there's a little static, and if you look at the sides of this container though, I just poured it out and I don't see any powder clinging to the inside of that bottle. And now that tells me that there really isn't any static in that bottle, or those powder, little grains of powder would be collecting in there, sticking on the side. Then I don't see that happening. So, you know, I kind of take that with a grain of salt. So now I'm going to prime it. I'm going to make sure that it's not pointing towards me. I'm going to pour these 60 grains down the muzzle. You know, it's in there nice and good. I'm going to bring it up and pat it down, make sure it all gets down in there. Then we're going to take a wad. We're going to make sure we don't point it at anybody. That's another comment that came out of the last video. Of course, we had swabbed. We were very careful to swab the barrel, but you know, we hadn't said that, so we had some comments about that. But I'm shooting a 490 ball here, and I'm using a patch that is a .005. So if it's a .490 ball and I'm using a .005 patch, that means that the total thickness is .495 in a 50 caliber barrel. So that does leave some room in there, you know, so it's not real tight. And the last time we were shooting, I did have, and here's the balls, it says right here .490, 50 caliber .490. So we're really going to have a diameter of .495 in a 50 caliber barrel. Alright, so there is some wiggle room. So we're going to put the patch over, we're going to put the ball on, and we're going to use the ball starter. Alright, what did I do with the ball starter? There it is. I'm going to use the ball starter, put it on there, and if you're using a too thick patch, it's going to be hard to get in, and that's what we had last time, the last video we made. It's because we couldn't find any of the .005 balls at Cabela's. That was during the time when things were hard. Alright, now we're going to take this out. We're going to ram it down. It goes down pretty easy when you've got a .490 ball and a .005 patch. It goes down easy. Also, I had somebody tell me, though, I was doing this, you know, and I shouldn't do that because it'll do something. You know, I'm an engineer, and I thought about that for a long time, and I thought, okay, what's that going to do? Well, if it's all down there in the barrel tight, down at the end real tight, and I do this, and it doesn't bounce, it's because it's moving the ball further down. That means it's not actually seated all the way down tight. And so if I do this and it just goes thunk, that means it's not tight. If I do this and it bounces a little bit, that means it's as tight as it can get down there, because all of the, you know, equal and opposite reaction is bouncing it back up. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure what the problem with that is, why everybody got excited about it, but this is steel, the barrel is steel, the tip is brass, the rod is nylon or plastic or something. We're not going to do very much damage down there on that steel barrel, so, you know, don't know. But anyway, also, we make sure that, you know, we know how far in this seats with the charge and the ball, so I know by looking at it that it's pretty tight. So we're good to go. You know, I'm just kind of talking to all these comments I had, and as I went back and read and studied and talked about it, I think there's a lot of myths and things out there about this. Now we got to cap it, and this gun likes the okay. This gun likes number 11 caps. There they are. This gun likes the Remington number 11 percussion caps. They fit this nipple very well, and they seem to be just right. They fire well, and you know, I could have a capper. I guess I've got a capper for my pistols and things, but I'm just going to put it on there. Now I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to push it too hard because I don't want it to go off in my hand. Okay, so there we are. We were on half cock, and we got it on. Now we are primed and ready to go. So what I need to do now, of course, is put on the hearing protection, and we'll shoot, and we'll show what it looks like coming out of the barrel. So let's put on some hearing protection and try this. All right, here we go. This is what it's going to look like coming out, and let's get this set. Here we go. Are we ready? Boom! Boom! Gee, we hit that target dead center. What do you know? Of course, I was standing about 5 feet away, but does do a pretty good job. That's what it's like going off, and you know, that's the fun of shooting these. When you're done, of course, you take that nipple off of there, and you know, now we're ready to clean, and that's the chore, going back in the house and cleaning. So anyway, I hope you liked what we were doing here, and I just wanted to make another one to correct some things or discuss some things that came up in the comments on our first video. Thanks. See you later.